Hello, my name is Jenna. I am a mom of 3, soon to be 4, and we have been homeschooling for about 4 years now. And there is a couple of things that I have kind of learned along the way through trial and error. So I figured I would make a little series of homeschooling videos for you guys if you are new to homeschooling or just trying to kind of figure out how to navigate it all. Hopefully some of these things will be helpful to you. Today I'm going to talk about structure versus flexibility in homeschool. So let's get started on the video. Okay, so the first tip I have when considering what type of schedule will work best for your family is to know your personality. I am not one of those people who enjoys not having a certain amount of structure in our day. I don't like when things are just they just feel kind of like all over the place. So I actually have found that as much as I would like homeschooling to kind of be like, let's just go with the flow and do what we feel like, it kind of makes me crazy. I actually like it a lot better when we have a curriculum that I follow as closely to that as we can, so that I'm not worried about like, maybe I'm missing something, or maybe we aren't doing enough of this or enough of that. It just kind of gives me that peace of mind of like, we've done this, we've done everything, we've checked all the boxes, and now I can not worry about it. So for us, definitely having more of a structure has been less stressful for me personally. And it just kind of helps me with that nagging feeling of you're not doing enough or she's not learning enough. So number 2 is establishing a routine can be extremely helpful. Obviously, this is not for everyone, but having a set routine has been life-changing. Obviously, things do kind of fluctuate depending on the day. I mean, it just, things come up, especially when you have small kids. If all of your kids are older, you can definitely stick more to a strict schedule, I feel like. But when you do have little kids, I mean, things happen. So it's just a general rule. They know kind of what the flow of their day is going to be. So they know that like they have to do these things before breakfast, and they know that this is kind of the flow of our day. We're going to do group subjects, and then I'm going to be able to work with them individually. But that being said, this morning, for instance, one of my kids had something that she wanted to do when she was done with her school. So she actually got up and right away she started working on all of her independent work. She got all of her independent work done. And then we went on, after everyone had breakfast, we did our group subjects. And then I just did the little bit of stuff with her that I need to do with her one-on-one. And then she was done super fast. So sometimes things like that do happen as well when they feel like it. But in general, they know this is what is expected of you. You have to do these things. And it's pretty much the same type of thing every day. And then I have like a list of their chore for the day. And once you do your schoolwork and your chore, then you can go play. The same thing for like meal times and snack times. When kids are home all day long, and I'm sure a lot of people have had this issue with everyone being home for the last couple of years more often. Kids, if they do not know what to expect, they will constantly harass you for snacks, for TV, for whatever. So if you don't have set boundaries of this is when these things are, they will drive you insane. So we have breakfast, and then they know like this is when you can have a snack. So don't ask me before then, otherwise they will ask you 100 times. So it just helps to have like a certain amount of structure of like, this is exactly what's expected of you. In schoolwork, your chore needs to be done before you are able to go play, and this is when you may have a snack. So we don't need to have this discussion every single day. It saves your sanity, and it also is helpful for them because they know what is expected of them. So they will not continually ask you. And also eventually there will be less complaining about the schoolwork and less complaining about the fact that they can't have 20 snacks all day long or whatever it is. So it's just, that kind of works out, I find, definitely for us, much better when there is a decent amount of structure. Okay, so scheduling a few set breaks. So this, like, as far as I'm talking about breaks, like homeschooling breaks. So obviously we plan to have a certain amount of break around Christmas time, or usually we'll do one around Thanksgiving, Christmas time, and then maybe there's something else that we're doing, like a trip in the spring or something like that. Other than that, I try not to schedule too many of our breaks from school, just because then it helps when we can just take a break whenever we need to. Like if we're all kind of getting burnt out and we just need a break, we can kind of just take that as needed. Or say something comes up and there's family in town and they're like, hey, would your kids like to go do this? Or we have the flexibility to do that, because it's not like, well, now we're not gonna be done with school until September or whatever. It's just, if you only have like a few little breaks that are always there, and then you allow yourself the flexibility to like be able to go do whatever during the year, or just take breaks as needed for sanity's sake, that I find is helpful as well. And then the last thing I've kind of mentioned already is just to have like a flow of your day. So I've done schedules for my kids where it literally has like 9 o'clock we start school and whatever, and it just doesn't really work for us. Like I do like to be scheduled, but it can't be that scheduled really, because it's just, things just happen. So I just find that it just works better to kind of have like a flow, so they know you have to be ready for the day, your bed needs to be made, your teeth need to be brushed before you are able to sit down and have breakfast. And then after you have breakfast, you have a few minutes until I'm done doing what I need to do in the kitchen before you are expected to sit down and do our group subjects and things like that. So it helps to kind of, they have like those markers of, they know like when things are expected to happen. That seems to work a lot better for us. And it just kind of gives you that flexibility of, things kind of coming up and not feeling like you're so behind schedule and that sort of thing. So anyway, those are my couple of little tips if you are kind of trying to figure out what is going to work for you as far as like how flexible to be with your schedule. For us, we've moved more to the side of like structured, but not like as structured as you would be in a public school with like a bell system and this happens at 11:15. So it's kind of like that in between. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully you can find a routine that works for you, and I will see you guys in our next video. Bye.